Exploring Idaho, the monthly adventure showcasing our state's unique people and places, is brought to you by Albertsons, your local Ford dealers, West One Bank, Idaho Department of Commerce, 7 regional travel committees, and KTVB, Channel 7. Let your favorite chair become a front row seat to adventure as we take you exploring Idaho.
This edition of Exploring Idaho combined Idaho's majestic Lake Pend Oreille country with some of music's greatest talents, and you've got the recipe for the festival at Sandpoint. Also, take a step back in time aboard the Silverwood Express. It's just one of the attractions waiting for you at North Idaho's Silverwood Theme Park. Idaho's whitewater isn't just for grown-ups. We'll show you how these kayaking kids are catching the wave.
Hello and welcome to Exploring Idaho. You know, every summer, the sounds of some of the biggest names in music echo across North Idaho's beautiful Lake Pend Oreille. It's all part of the festival at Sandpoint, an event that's putting this North Idaho town on the musical map. Every summer, this quiet North Idaho baseball field becomes the stage for some music greats. It's concerts like the Count Basie Orchestra, and Johnny Cash.
Although the circle won't be broken, by and by, Lord,
that have taken the festival at Sandpoint from a weekend concert in the park to a 3-week-long celebration of music.
in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Every summer, some of the biggest names in music show up on this Sandpoint stage. There's just something about taking it all in on the shores of Idaho's majestic Lake Pend Oreille. The natural beauty of the area has been drawing folks here for years. Lake Pend Oreille is a favorite spot for boaters. Sandy beaches, perfect for a lazy day in the sun. And now there's one more reason to visit.
This is worth taking a 2-week vacation for, just to take in the festival. There's just nothing else like it.
It's incredible. I mean, you got the lake here and just the beautiful mountains and pine trees. It's just like no other place anywhere.
One, you get great entertainment, wonderful people, and about 9 o'clock, the full moon comes up over that mountain, and there is never a place that's as gorgeous as this anywhere in the world. It's one of those things that happens every summer, and you have to be here.
During the 3-week event, the streets of Sandpoint come alive with activity. The festival offers yet another excuse to show off what residents are pretty proud of already.
I think this is the most beautiful place on the earth. I'm proud of it. I want other people to see it because it is so gorgeous. I think there are very few places in the world that has this beauty, which most of us do appreciate here. But to have the musical and the artistic dimension makes this place an unbelievably special town and community.
From the refurbished Cedar Street Bridge, now a shopping mall, to the Sandpoint City Beach, you might even take in the Arts and Crafts Fair. There's plenty to see and do in this town, and everywhere you turn, music.
That's fun, to be able to go to West One Bank and have the entire jazz group playing. And then the bank is serving free hamburgers and hot dogs to anybody that wanders by. It's a real community event. There's a lot of involvement. I think the entire town is proud of the festival and proud of the Institute.
So show extra length, extra tenuto is what it says there in your beat.
A big part of this festival is the Schweitzer Institute of Music, the classroom, the Schweitzer Mountain Ski Area just above Sandpoint. It is an intense training program for serious students, and a highlight is the Young Conductors Workshop. Under the watchful eye of musical genius Gunther Schuller, these students will learn more than the physical art of conducting. They will dive into their work, studying every dot, every note on the page, trying to understand what the composer really intended.
There's a marvelous identification between music, great music by the great composers, and the relationship of all that to nature. And I think I regard this as a kind of a nature sanctuary up here, even though in the winter, I mean, it's just full of people with skiers and so on. But, you know, in the summer, it's just ideal for us.
Schuller wears several hats during the festival. He is also the man behind the concerts. It's his job to decide who plays.
My philosophy has always been there are many kinds of good music. It isn't just that classical music is good music or jazz is the only good music. Some people think that way, you know, they like a certain kind of music and they think that's the only valid music. My philosophy is very broad-ranging.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and flames went higher.
The festival at Sandpoint will draw tens of thousands of visitors to this North Idaho town, but no one seems to enjoy it more than the performers themselves.
Good evening, welcome to our show.
They're surprised at how beautiful this location is, and they all leave away with this feeling of euphoria that they've been in a wonderful place and done a wonderful concert for a wonderful audience. It's really, oh, I don't know, it sounds just maybe too good.
Folks in Sandpoint are already putting together plans for next year's festival, and it promises to be another great one. So mark your calendars. It kicks off the last week of July.
Up next, get ready for a rolling good time at Idaho's own Silverwood theme park.
Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. A couple of summers ago, our family decided to spend our summer vacation in North Idaho, and we were delighted to find a small but very entertaining theme park just north of Coeur d'Alene. It's called Silverwood, and David Mills paid a visit there recently. Dave, you say it's really been growing.
Well, Dee, in just the short time since you've been there have been big changes at the park. You see, Gary Norton, the man who conceived and built the park, has often been called the Walt Disney of the North, and with good reason. Take a look, and I think you'll see why.
When you walk through the gates of North Idaho's Silverwood theme park, it's almost like stepping back in time. This is what Main Street, Idaho might have looked like 100 years ago. This is the Wild West, with a twist. When the place first opened, some wondered if a theme park in North Idaho could be successful. Developer Gary Norton never had a doubt.
Like the movie Field of Dreams, you build something, they will come, and I guess that's what's happened here. We built the park and made it as good as we could, and people have showed up and enjoyed it.
The centerpiece of Silverwood is this authentic steam train. Norton bought it from the Bill Harrah collection in Reno. It circles the park on 5 miles of track. The ride reads like a page out of a Western novel, complete with a great train robbery.
No, it's the Hole in the Head gang, and we're being robbed.
Hands up! Hurry to the sky!
Armpits! You want to see armpits? Get them up!
To me, it just reminds me of how the West should be, with the little Victorian shops and the trains.
And they really keep with the theme of Silverwood and kind of country, yeah.
From trains to planes, Silverwood has it all, including a multi-million-dollar collection of antique aircraft. Some folks visit the park just to see these planes, and why not? There are a few other places you'll find a collection like this one.
What is truly remarkable is that each of the planes in this museum has been restored to flyable condition. And speaking of flying,
this is the only way to see Silverwood, aboard a 1927 Travel Air. This biplane offers a pretty unique experience. It's not often you can take to the skies in something like this.
One of his favorite ways to turn around. Oh, that was very tight, right back into his own smoke.
Silverwood is built on an airstrip still used today, and every day this airstrip is the launching point for an impressive air show.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See what he's going to do now. Oh boy, it's a tail slide. He goes right over the top and vertical, and he does a quarter turn. Nice maneuver. Look how low he is here now. There's about 15 feet from the ground.
Back on the ground, you won't stay there for long if you hop aboard Silverwood's thrilling roller coaster.
it's called the Corkscrew. It originally was at the theme park called Knott's Berry Farm in Southern California. Well, now it's here in northern Idaho. Let's go.
It's a blast. It's just so quick. You go upside down and you go forward and just, it's a rush.
Now, some folks like Heather like to challenge themselves and break their record for the number of times they've gone on this ride. I think once is probably enough for me.
There are a number of more tame rides at Silverwood, but the Corkscrew and the log ride seem to be among the most popular. But thrill seekers say they pale in comparison to the park's newest ride, Thunder Canyon.
I'm gonna get wet!
Thunder Canyon is a wet and wild adventure with all the thrills of whitewater rafting, and then some.
You know, I've done about 8 trips on whitewater rafting on powerful Idaho rivers. I've never been this wet.
It's very damp, but it's thrillful, if that's a word you can use.
You look kind of cold.
I am. I'm soaked.
Tell me about the ride.
Wet.
Wet?
Wet.
That's really the reward when you see people screaming and yelling, having a great time riding on these rides, and they come up to me all the time and just thank us for putting this in North Idaho and making this happen up here.
Although Norton admits he is reaping some financial rewards, the park is making money, but instead of pocketing the profits, this Walt Disney of the North is expanding his park.
Oh gosh, big tiger, huh?
Well, I see more expansion of the existing park as we've done it, a few more rides and attractions. And at some time I know we'll have to have overnight facilities here because we get so many requests for them.
Among his plans, a haunted mine ride with a roller coaster and automated characters.
I think it's super. It's growing every year. It's getting better and better, and I'm really for this thing. I think it's what this Coeur d'Alene and Spokane area need.
Who says Southern California has to have all the good theme parks? Idaho's own version of Disneyland is a rip-roaring success.
Well, looks like it's time to pay another visit. You had a good time.
I had a great time. I'm kind of a theme park buff, and I think it's great having something of this caliber that close to home.
Right in our backyard. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Still to come, roaring Idaho whitewater and the kids who take on the challenge.
I hope you've had some time to enjoy Idaho's rivers this summer, and if you have, no doubt you've seen plenty of kayakers out on the water. Kayaking is growing in popularity in our state, and Larry Manili joins us now with the story of kids who are getting in on this sport.
Well, Dee, until very recently, the sport of kayaking was pretty much limited to adults, mainly because the equipment didn't fit children. But now, with the addition of some kid-sized boats and an innovative training program, the younger generation is catching the kayaking wave. It wasn't too long ago that this sport of kayaking was limited to adults. And while these seasoned pros are very much at home in whitewater like this, it's about the last place you'd expect to find an 8-year-old.
Look at the camera, smile, goodbye.
Today, the companies making these kayaks are catering to kids. The boats are smaller, easier for smaller bodies to maneuver.
Kids have been a pretty much ignored group in kayaking, so I started teaching kids, and the result has been phenomenal.
Tom Long put his love for this sport to work for these kids. His kayaking school for youngsters is one of just a handful in the country.
Slide it forward so there's no resistance, and then you're going to take a forward stroke. Okay.
Serious training begins as young as 8 years old. The students will spend a couple of months working out in a swimming pool. This calm water is a prelude to what's ahead.
You spin on the bounce, okay? If they can do this, the first time they're faced with a 6 or 7 foot drop on the river, they go, I've launched before, no problem.
But there are some things the pool just can't simulate. Big rapids can take their toll on those who aren't prepared. But for Tom Long's students, getting out of a tight spot isn't a problem.
Get out! Ready! Go!
When the holes and waves get really big, I kind of get a little scared, but I've gotten a lot better, so I'm not scared as much.
Come around, let your boat glide so there's momentum. Don't hit the gate again, and exit. Good.
The South Fork of the Payette River is Tom's favorite training ground. He's got 3 kids of his own and another 30 or so he's taken under his wing.
Okay, Brooke. Take the slide. Take the slide now. Stern draw now. That's it. And take the exit. Very good. Excellent, Brooke. That's 100%. That was awesome.
It's a very intimidating sport, and it's hard to keep up with the men because they have a lot more muscle than we do. But then again, we have to specify in our technique, and we can, get better at that. So I have to intensely work on my technique.
The river makes a great classroom because the whitewater quickly focuses their attention on the task at hand. The waves can be intimidating, and the kids are looking for all the help they can get. Tom's son Ken has an advantage over most of these youngsters. He lives with his coach. The entire family lives for this sport.
Excellent Dufek exit.
You just get really hyped up, and you just have incredible strength, and just your body is just really pumping and all, trying not to get thrashed in the river.
Getting out on the river, getting the adrenaline going, and going through the big waves, doing a little bit of surfing. It's fun.
That's the real test of being a parent. You certainly hope that when they go over, they just come up upright. When we as adults look at this river, we have some built-in fears. And when kids look at this river, a lot of times they just see fun.
Some kids will aspire to be whitewater racers, some will want to be whitewater boaters where they do the harder stuff, and some will enjoy the cruising aspect of recreational boating.
But his son Ken has his sights set a little higher.
The Olympics sound awfully nice. I'd like to maybe do that one day.
And Ken's got plenty of company, not to mention Idaho's abundance of whitewater, a combination that has made kayaking for kids a popular sport.
You never really can beat the river. When you do other competitive sports, you can beat the other soccer team, you can beat the other baseball team, but in kayaking, you never win. You just coexist and have a great day. Good, Brooke, excellent.
Obviously, a great sport for kids, but I think it would be pretty tough on the moms, Larry. I think I'd be very nervous watching from the bank.
It's interesting you say that because parents are getting more involved, and in fact, there is a special class now just for moms.
Good idea.
So obviously a terrific family activity.
Well, it looks like it. Larry, thanks for the story, and we will be right back.
Next on Exploring Idaho, the cascading waters of scenic Granite Falls.
Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. There is plenty to do in Idaho in the upcoming months. Here's just a sample of some of the events planned around the state. If you'd like more information on anything you've seen on Exploring Idaho today, call 1-800-635-7820. Ask for the Exploring Idaho Field Notes for show number 104. Want to discover one of those great little spots that usually only the locals know about? Well, just west of Priest Lake, near the Idaho-Washington border, you'll find the cascading waters of Granite Falls, if you're willing to look for them. Here's how to start your search. Northeast of the little community of Nordman lies a grove of ancient cedar trees. As you walk among these shaggy giants, you'll hear the sound of water. Follow Granite Creek, and after a short hike, this will be your reward, Granite Falls. So the next time you're in North Idaho, take the time and the trouble to see Granite Falls. We're glad you could spend this time with us today. We'll see you next month with another edition of Exploring Idaho.